Electric vehicles aren't supposed to last this long. That's what the industry said 10 years ago. These 8 cars just made them look completely wrong. And my favorite on this list, it came from a brand most people wrote off before it even got started. Number 8. BMW i3. The original BMW i3 gets dismissed constantly. Unusual shape, quirky interior, small size. People see the styling and move on. That's a mistake. Underneath that polarizing body is one of the most thoughtfully engineered early EVs ever built. BMW used a carbon fiber reinforced polymer structure, the same material found in aerospace and high-end motorsport. The body doesn't rust, it doesn't fatigue the same way steel does. It was overbuilt for a mass-market vehicle, and that overbuilding shows up in long-term durability. The electric drivetrain is also remarkably simple. BMW stripped out complexity rather than adding it. Fewer components mean fewer points of failure, and the philosophy paid off. There are high-mileage i3s still running strong on their original battery packs and drivetrains. Vehicles that were written off as experiment cars proving that EV platforms can outlast the skepticism that surrounded them at launch. Here's the part most people overlook. The i3's range extender option, where fitted, barely gets used by most owners. That means the combustion component's still largely dormant, while the electric drivetrain does all the work. Low-stress operation translates directly into long component life. Owners who bought these as city cars and charged them nightly are now sitting on vehicles with remarkably healthy battery packs years later. The i3 didn't sell in massive numbers, but the ones that sold kept running. That's the real story. Number 7. Volkswagen ID.4. The ID.4 launched with some growing pains. Early software complaints were real, and Volkswagen took hits for them. But here's what critics missed. The underlying platform was solid. VW designed the ID.4 as a global EV architecture, something that had to work in Germany, the United States, China, and everywhere in between. That means the battery management system was engineered for diverse conditions and used patterns from day one, not adopted after the fact. The drivetrain layout is straightforward. Rear-wheel drive, base models kept the system clean and simple. Fleet operators, people who put the highest, most consistent mileage on vehicles, have reported strong reliability results as the platform has matured. Early ID.4 ownership was a mixed experience. Later ownership has looked significantly better. Volkswagen kept refining the software and ironing out the rough edges. And what's left is a fundamentally durable EV that earns more trust with every production year. One thing worth noting is how the ID.4 handles thermal management. The liquid-cooled battery system keeps operating temperatures stable across a wide range of conditions, something that directly protects long-term cell health. That's not an accident. VW built this to survive Europe winters and desert heat in equal measure. If you're shopping for ID.4s, target the later model years. The bones were really good. The execution just needed time to catch up. Number 6. Polestar 2. Polestar doesn't get enough credit in reliability conversations, and that comes down to one thing. People forget where it was built. The Polestar 2 shares its engineering DNA with Volvo. That's not a marketing claim. That's a structural reality. Volvo has spent decades building vehicles designed to last, and that philosophy runs through the Polestar 2 in ways that show up at high mileage. Owners consistently report stable battery performance over time. The drivetrain holds up. Mechanical issues are fewer than what you see from most luxury EVs at comparable mileage brands that prioritize complexity and feature count over long-term durability. The Polestar 2 also benefits from a relatively clean architecture. Android Automotive is integrated natively, which reduces the layered software complexity that causes problems on other platforms. When the software is the car, not bolted onto it, the whole system runs more consistently. For buyers who want something that feels premium but doesn't carry the reliability risk that often comes with European luxury EVs, Polestar 2 is a serious answer. Number 5. Kia Niro EV. The Niro EV doesn't make headlines. It doesn't win drag races or show up in viral videos. What it does is work, consistently, quietly, and over long periods of ownership without drama. The battery architecture is proven. Kia didn't experiment here. They took chemistry and thermal management systems refined across multiple platforms and applied them to a vehicle-sized, weight-optimized design to output minimal stress on the pack. The result is battery degradation rates that consistently outperform segment expectations. The powertrain is front-wheel drive and simple. One motor, no unnecessary complexity, a thermal management approach conservative enough to protect the battery during sustained use and charging. High-mileage Niro EV examples are showing very little degradation, and that's the number that matters for real-world ownership. Low degradation means you keep your range, you keep your efficiency, you keep your confidence in the vehicle years after the purchase. Kia also backs the battery with strong warranty coverage, which tells you something about how confident they are in the architecture. Brands that cut corners don't offer long warranties. They hope you don't notice until coverage runs out. If this kind of content cuts through the noise for you, hit subscribe and drop a like. We stay focused on what actually matters for owners. Number 4. Hyundai Ioniq Electric. The original Hyundai Ioniq Electric is a case study in doing things the right way when nobody was watching. Hyundai didn't chase maximum range numbers or headline-grabbing performance figures. They built the Ioniq Electric around efficiency and conservative battery management, a philosophy that prioritizes long-term cell health over short-term marketing claims. The drivetrain is one of the most efficient ever fitted to a production EV. Less energy wasted means less heat generated, and less heat means longer battery health. Hyundai understood this trade-off, but built accordingly. Long-term failure rates on the Ioniq Electric are extremely low. Owners who have held on to these vehicles and put real mileage on them are finding that the battery management system did exactly what it was supposed to do: protect the pack from aggressive degradation patterns. The range was never class-leading. The reliability record, however, is. This is the EV that rewards patient, consistent owners, not the flashiest vehicle on the road, one of the most trustworthy. Number 3. Tesla Model Y. The Tesla Model Y is one of the best-selling vehicles in the world. Not just best-selling EVs, but best-selling vehicles, full stop. That scale matters for reliability data because volume produces honesty. You can't hide problems when millions of people own your car. What the data shows is a vehicle with robust battery management system, a drivetrain architecture that has been refined across multiple production generations, and a software platform that improves the car over time rather than leaving it static. When Tesla identifies an issue in the fleet, a fix goes out over the air. That's not possible with conventional vehicles. The simplicity of the drivetrain also matters here. Tesla motor design uses fewer moving parts than comparable powertrains, and that translates to fewer mechanical failures over time. The company's own data has shown that EV drivetrains have around 20 moving parts compared to over 1,000 in a traditional combustion engine. Fewer parts, fewer failures. The Model Y isn't perfect. Build quality consistency has been a legitimate criticism, and some owners have dealt with fit and finish issues, particularly in early production runs. But on the powertrain and battery side, the components that define long-term reliability, the track record is strong and getting stronger as the platform matures. Number 2. Nissan Leaf 2nd generation. The Nissan Leaf is the longest-running mass-market EV platform in the world. That's not a small thing. The first generation had a well-documented problem. Passive thermal management meant the battery lacked an active cooling system, and in hot climates, degradation occurred faster than owners expected. Nissan heard the feedback. The second generation addressed battery durability in ways that changed the long-term ownership picture significantly. Second-gen Leaf owners in moderate climates are reporting battery retention numbers that first-generation owners never saw. The platform has been refined through years of real-world data, adjustments informed by hundreds of thousands of ownership experiences across every major market. What the Leaf also represents is something unappreciated: a proven, affordable EV with an enormous ownership base and a well-established service network. Parts availability is strong. Technician familiarity is high. For buyers who want reliability without the premium price tag, the second-generation Leaf remains one of the most dependable long-term options in the market. Number 1. Tesla Model S. Some numbers are hard to argue with. The Tesla Model S has accumulated some of the highest verified mileage figures in the entire EV world. There are Model S vehicles that have crossed 300,000 miles. Some have gone further, on original battery packs or packs that were replaced under warranty, and then run for another 200,000 miles on top of that. The level of longevity was supposed to be impossible for an EV. The early narrative said batteries would fail, range would collapse, and long-term ownership would be a financial disaster. The Model S rewrote that narrative in real time. The reasons are structural. The battery pack is large, and larger packs cycle less aggressively per mile than smaller ones. Each charge-discharge cycle draws a smaller percentage of total capacity, which extends cell life. The thermal management system is liquid-cooled and active, protecting the pack from heat, cold, and during fast charging. The drivetrain was engineered with a simplicity that eliminates the high-wear components found in combustion powertrains. Tesla over-the-air updates the Model S continuously. Not just feature additions, but battery management optimizations that have materially extended pack life in vehicles already in the field. Owners who bought the Model S years ago have meaningfully better managed battery today than the car shipped with, without touching a wrench. The 300,000-mile examples get the attention. What they represent is something larger, a proof point that modern electric drivetrains, when engineered properly, can match and potentially exceed longevity of the best combustion engines ever built. What this means for EV buyers. Step back from the list and look at the pattern. Every vehicle here shares a set of characteristics. Conservative battery management that prioritizes longevity over performance claims, drivetrain simplicity that reduces failure points, thermal systems that protect pack under real-world conditions, and in several cases, the benefit of continuous software refinement is that it makes the car reliable over time, not less. Real-world ownership data is now deep enough to conclude the industry couldn't support 5 years ago. Modern EVs, when properly engineered, don't just avoid the reliability problems the skeptics predicted. Several of them are posting durability numbers that rival those of the most reliable gas vehicles ever made. That's not an opinion. That's what happens when you run the mileage. Battery technology is still improving. Thermal management is getting more sophisticated. Software platforms are getting smarter. The reliability gap between the best EVs and the average ICE vehicles isn't still standing. It's moving. And based on the direction it's moving, the argument against EV reliability is getting harder to make with every passing year of data. 8 EVs. One clear takeaway. Reliability in the EV world isn't a mystery. It shows up in the data, in the mileage, and in the ownership records of people who bought these vehicles, drove them hard, and kept driving them. The BMW i3 proved the concept. The Kia Niro and Hyundai Ioniq proved it could be done affordably. The Tesla Model S proved it could be done at the highest mileage the segment has ever seen. If you're shopping for an EV, new or used, this list is your shortlist. Start here. Drop a comment below and tell me which one of these surprised you the most. I read every one, and the best questions turn into future videos. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and I'll see you there.